Number 10. Gaslighting. Imagine holding a cup of coffee. You know it's coffee. You made it yourself. But someone insists, that's tea. You laugh at first, thinking they're joking. Then they say it again and again. Soon, they start mocking you, twisting your words, claiming they saw you pour tea. After a while, doubt creeps in. Wait, is it tea? That is the silent cruelty of gaslighting, a manipulation so subtle it makes you question your own reality. The term comes from the 1944 film Gaslight, where a husband dims the lights and insists to his wife that nothing changed. Over time, she believes she's going insane. In real life, gaslighting appears everywhere in toxic relationships, cults, politics. A partner might say, "You're imagining things." A leader might claim the evidence is fake. Repeated enough times, even the most self-aware person begins to doubt themselves. Psychologists call it cognitive sabotage. Gaslighting doesn't just distort facts, it attacks your memory, your sense of truth, and your confidence. And here's the darkest part. Victims often start defending the person who is manipulating them. That's how deep this trick cuts. It doesn't just control what you believe, it rewires who you are. Number 9. Love bombing. Picture this. You meet someone new. They're perfect. Flowers every morning, text every hour. You're my soulmate. You feel like you found the one. But then, suddenly, it stops. The warmth turns cold. That's not love. It's love bombing. A tactic where someone overwhelms you with affection just to gain control. Cult leaders use it. Abusive partners use it. The goal is to flood your brain with dopamine, get you addicted to the high, then pull it away. Psychologists call it emotional bait and switch. Once you've tasted that flood of love, you'll do almost anything to get it back. You'll chase the illusion, thinking, "What did I do wrong?" But you didn't do anything wrong, because those good times were never real. They were a setup. Love bombing doesn't give affection, it loans it with interest. Number 8. The foot in the door. Have you ever said yes to a small favor, and then found yourself trapped in a chain of bigger ones? "Can you help me move this box?" becomes, "Can you move my whole house?" That is the foot in the door technique, one of the oldest psychological tricks in the book. It works by starting small. Say yes once, and your brain wants to stay consistent. You feel compelled to keep agreeing. In one famous study, researchers asked homeowners to put a tiny sticker on their windows supporting safe driving. Weeks later, those same people agreed to place a huge, ugly "Drive Safely" billboard on their lawn. Why? Because they'd already said yes once. Marketers, scammers, even charities use this trick. Just a small donation today, they say, and before you know it, you're locked into a monthly plan you never wanted. The sneaky part is that every step feels like your choice. But the staircase? Someone else built it. Number 7. Scarcity. You're shopping. A clerk says only to left in stock. Suddenly, your heart races. You didn't even want it before, but now it feels like a must-have. That's the scarcity effect. When something seems rare, your brain assigns it more value. It's a survival mechanism from ancient times when scarcity meant danger. If you didn't grab resources, you starved. Marketers know this. Flash sale, only a few remaining. Offer ends tonight. Scarcity hijacks your primal instincts. It's not about logic. It's about fear. The fear of missing out, the terror of loss. That's why people trample each other during sales. It's why gamblers chase one last chance. Scarcity doesn't make things valuable. It makes you desperate. And desperation is a dangerous state to be in. Number 6. Fear conditioning. Imagine hearing a bell, and then getting shocked. Over time, you start to fear the sound, even when no shock follows. That's fear conditioning. It's how the mind learns to associate harmless cues with danger. Abusive parents use it. Every time the milk spills, I yell soon. The child panics at the sight of a glass. Dictators use it. Speak out, and you'll be punished. Soon, silence becomes second nature. Fear conditioning doesn't need chains or cages. It's self-sustaining. Once fear is installed, it repeats like an echo in your brain. That's why soldiers flinch at fireworks decades after war. The fear lives on. Manipulators understand this deeply. They attach fear to small, harmless actions, questioning, doubting, disagreeing, until obedience becomes automatic. Fear becomes the leash. And the most chilling part, the victim holds it themselves. Number 5. The social proof trap. You're walking down a street and see everyone staring at the sky. What do? You look up to. That's social proof. The instinct to copy others when we're unsure. Most of the time, it's harmless. We pick busy restaurants, trending clothes, popular opinions. But manipulators weaponize it. Fake reviews, paid applause. Everyone's doing it marketing. In the 1950s, psychologist Solomon Asch ran an experiment where people had to judge line lengths. Surrounded by actors giving wrong answers, most participants agreed. even though the truth was obvious. They didn't want to stand out. That's social proof. It overrides perception. It's how mobs form, how cults grow, how entire societies can follow a lie. When the crowd becomes the compass, truth no longer matters, only belonging does. Number 4. Intermittent rewards. Slot machines never pay consistently. And that's the point. Win, lose, lose, win, lose. Chaos. It's called intermittent reinforcement, and it's terrifyingly addictive. When rewards are unpredictable, your brain releases dopamine not when you win, but when you anticipate winning. That uncertainty keeps you chasing. Social media runs on the same principle: random likes, comments, notifications. Every scroll is another pull of the lever. Toxic relationships use it too. Hot and cold affection, random kindness, emotional highs followed by silent withdrawals. You start craving the next moment of relief, the next hit of validation. That's why psychologists call intermittent rewards the strongest form of conditioning. It doesn't just make you respond, it makes you addicted to the chase. Number 3. Guilt tripping. You say no to a friend, and suddenly they look heartbroken. I just thought you cared about me, ouch. That's guilt tripping, manipulation disguised as disappointment. It works by weaponizing empathy. Humans are wired to connect, so when someone makes you feel like you failed them, it hurts. Studies show guilt activates the same parts of the brain as physical pain. Parents do it. After everything I've done for you. Partners do it. If you really loved me, you would. It's emotional blackmail, and the cost is your boundaries. The scariest part, it's subtle. No yelling, no threats, just sighs, silence, and emotional withdrawal. You cave in, not because you're wrong, but because you want peace. Guilt tripping doesn't just make you apologize, it trains you to obey. Number 2. Mirroring manipulation. You meet someone who seems just like you. They laugh when you laugh, use your phrases, share your opinions. You feel instantly connected. But sometimes that connection is a mirror, not a person. Mirroring is a natural human behavior. We subconsciously imitate people we like. But manipulators do it intentionally. They copy your energy to make you trust them faster. Con artists, abusers, even fake friends do this. Your brain's mirror neurons respond, releasing chemicals that make you feel understood, safe, seen. You drop your guard. But once trust is secured, the mask falls. The soulmate vanishes, and you realize you were bonding with your own reflection. Psychologists warn when someone seems too perfect, too similar, too quick to connect, they might not be bonding. They might be baiting. Number 1. The isolation net. Every horror movie starts the same way. The phone lines are cut. That's not just cinematic, it's psychological. Real-life manipulators isolate their victims the same way. They slowly cut you off from friends, family, anyone who could open your eyes. They don't understand us. They're jealous. You can only trust me. That's the isolation net, the cage that holds all the other cages. Once isolation is complete, the manipulator becomes your entire world, your comfort, and your captor in one. Breaking free feels terrifying because you've been conditioned to believe that without them, you're nothing. Experts call isolation the gateway tactic, because once you're alone, every other trick, gaslighting, guilt, love bombing, works 10 times better. It's the oldest and most dangerous play in the book. These psychological tactics are more than manipulation, they're blueprints for control. But awareness is your shield. Once you can name the trick, it loses its grip. So the next time someone makes you doubt your memory, your worth, or your reality, pause, breathe. Remember, you're not crazy. You're being conditioned. And the moment you see the strings, the puppet show ends.